lovers out there in the world. This is your host, Goddess Prosper. Hello, 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 hello. So I came on today because, actually not for you, for me, a little selfish about this one, actually. So I am actually streaming live on YouTube at the same time that I'm streaming live on Instagram. I'm going to focus on YouTube. I see you. I see you. Wow. Oh my God. I've had like such an amazing, I can't even say amazing enough experience. I've been quiet about this cleanse that I've been up to. I've been doing a cleanse that has been administered by my business colleague and the first love of my life, my mother. How many women can say that? A woman grows inside of her experience to love herself as a woman. And I feel like it's very hard to love you or other women around you until you've healed that bond between you and your mother. That bond that's so vital because she is your first love. You nestled in her chest and suckled on her breast and drank the milk from your mother. So your mother really is that core expression of who you are. She is the next. You are the next, rather, and she's passing on and gifting you all of her things. So me doing this cleanse with my mother, my business partner, my colleague, has been just so beautiful. I've ixnayed on the makeup bay while I'm doing my cleanse because I want to make sure that I'm pulling away from these artificial beauty products to incorporate really natural beauty products. So my skin can be beautiful and the exterior can be beautiful. However, if the exterior is beautiful and the inside is ugly, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't. You really need to go for that core value. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is a rainy day in New York City. And as we have this rainy day in New York City, I figured I'd drop in and give you all some magic. So, I'm so excited. And I'm kind of scared too because I'm exposing things about myself that I've never exposed before. So I had a really rough relationship with myself. And I found that to be true when I became a mother. That's why my topic is about loving and having a relationship with your mother. So when I had my daughter, I was very impressionable and not really solid as my person inside of myself. I wasn't a solid human being. I was young and I was with a guy and our relationship was he was older and I was younger, being impressionable. He could tell me anything and I would just be like, well, it must be true. I was definitely not this domineering woman, which I am not domineering, or a dominating woman, which I am dominating. I was very much on the cusp of just trying to barely hang on and find myself. So finding myself was difficult, to say the least. And when I realized that he was cheating on me, I became just so sad because it wasn't just a cheating, it was an abusive relationship and there was cheating. So it was abusive physically, mentally, emotionally, physically. And from there, I had my daughter. And throughout the relationship, it was very toxic and abusive during pregnancy. So that's a whole nother aspect of me sharing this. I'm sharing this because there's women out there who just feel like I must be some alien from outer space who's untouchable. And I've never experienced what they've experienced. And my advice must be poo-poo. So my advice is actually I made this my business to make sure, literally my business, because I want to make sure that women actually gravitate to me as a safety net. And the women that have come to me in the past, they come because they know that what I'm offering is true and solid. And I get results, darn it, for my goddesses that come to me, that grow into goddesses, my rosebuds that grow into goddesses. So And the relationship was one that I could never even express all of the things, all of the abuse that happened. And you know what one person said to me? They said, you know what, Prosper? You have so much love in your heart, because for you to be able to love in the space of nothing, no love, then you just have an abundance inside of you. So I offer that to women that are probably in abusive relationships, who are probably not experiencing the most amazing aspects of their lover, even though they might see that he's good. You might think he's good, but it's not your job to change him. It's not your job to fix him. Your job is to go to work on yourself. So as you're going to work on yourself, you get to have these great epiphanies. And I'm always growing and I'm always having an epiphany. And so my big epiphany this week throughout doing this cleanse is this. I'm going to stop holding it from you because I'm going to give it to you. So I'm doing this cleanse, but I'm doing a lot of breath work as well, incorporating it with the cleanse and doing a lot of the practices that I already have. So my mom's business is like this. It's all about the cleansing of the inside of the body, and mine's all about the cleansing of your aura, like this conversation that you have with yourself. So the deal is this. Women, we all are like, let's come together and be sisters. However, we have very toxic relationships with ourselves and our other sisters. So I invite you to consider if you want to grow spiritually, physically, or otherwise, what kind of relationship do you have with yourself? Because if you're willing to have somebody, or not willing, what's another word to use? If you're being the kind of woman that is compliant to an abusive man, then what kind of relationship do you have in your life for yourself with you? And often I find that there's a disconnect. And inside that disconnect, you can't have healthy relationships with yourself, nor your mother, sisters, other women, or the feminine in general, the divine goddess. And it takes something of a practice within to create that without. Yesterday, after being in this cleanse so I did like 1 week of prep, and then this week I've been like really taking it seriously. It's been so difficult. I am not going to like act like this is an easy cleanse. This is the hard, difficult portions of it that are so juicy, because here's the juicy part. I called a friend. So at the beginning of my journey of being a dominatrix, when I said, I'm stepping into being a dominatrix, I was coming out of a relationship that wasn't actually so bad. It was toxic because I was being toxic at that time in my life, because I was just like, I was raging against the machine, because I came from an abusive relationship, another abusive relationship, into a really healthy relationship. And I was not healthy because I still haven't healed myself. And so one of my friends, I'm going to call her a friend because I love her so, so much. Her name is Jody Patterson. She wrote this really amazing book. You can look her up on Instagram, Jody Patterson. She is a phenomenal woman, has written a book about what it means to like really love your child, however they are. And she has a transgender child. Go read the book. Anyways, so for me, I was living in that house. And even though I was living in that house, I saw her relationship with who she was with, and I envied it. It was this great relationship. The finances were great. The relationship looked great. On the outside, it looked so, so good. And that's all I could see. I don't know anything about the actual relationship, but what I saw, I wanted. I was like, I need this. I was so envious and spiteful too. And at that time in my life, I got, we were living in this huge mansion, co-ed situation, not co-ed, but I don't know what you call it, collaborative household, I want to say, because it was two families. Like she had her children, and then I had my child, and because he was an amazing man. And the thing about it was that the two guys in the household were good friends. So her guy and my guy, they were friends. And she's, living in this marriage. There's ups and downs in everybody's relationship. But my relationship, all I could see was that I wanted what she had. I wanted the finances. I wanted the trips. I wanted the big house upstate. I wanted the access to all this beautiful things. But was that really happiness? I don't know. Inside of my envying of her, one day when we were separating our households, we were moving somewhere else and they were moving somewhere else because we were renting a place. We were all renting. And I moved out from there. And just within a week, I got hit by a car. This is back in 2013. And when that happened, I went home and I shared something very personal with my guy at the time that made her relationship very difficult. I went and shared something so personal that she entrusted in me with my guy out of spite, out of jealousy, out of anger, because honestly, she didn't come to an appointment on time. And I was on my way to take my daughter to school. And because she was running late from dropping her kids at school to get back to me, it made me a little late. So I got hit by the car. And I was just like, well, F her. That was my inner, that was like really what was going on for me. I was like, screw her. So I told all this personal stuff to my guy at the time. I was like, "Oh, forget her. She's this, she's that, she's this, she's that." And he was like, "I was just opening up, but for what reason?" So ladies, I want to say this, are you doing that? And so I want to have these beautiful experiences, especially for my birthday. So my birthday's coming up, and I vowed to have like these women's circles. So if you get an invitation from me, that means I really think you're quite darn special to get an invitation for me for my birthday to come and experience like what it means to just like up level yourself around your relationship. So it's a gift that I'm giving for my birthday to very particular women. So if you get a gift, it's going to a gift of an invitation. It's very special, and I hope you do accept it. Um, However, I couldn't go and have this beautiful birthday party, and yet I have this funky, funky, fresh stuff sitting in the background that's like festering. I was like, I got to deal with this. So I call her up, and I'm like, Jody, I need to talk to you. And I talk to her, and I pour my heart out to her. This is just yesterday. And, cleansing is not just this internal thing, it's this aura. There are relationships that you have that are unresolved. And we expect to have abundance and all this great stuff and hold ourselves up high and blah, blah, but we're dealing with stuff. If you are dealing with something right here and right now, darlings, lovers, peacemakers, gods and goddesses, take the time to call that person and resolve that issue. Until you resolve that issue, you will have this push and pull of turmoil inside your brain. If you're thinking about that person's coming to your mind, that means it's time to make a difference with that person immediately in your life. You would be surprised how much abundance will come to you inside of just resolving that. So I'm so emotional about this because it's still very new for me. So I called her, she listened to me, and she was like, "Oh my God, I really, really, really am so excited." She's like, "Thank you. Thank you for calling me." Like she opened her house, let our family in to live in her house, regardless of how big it was. She let us live there in a time when we were kind of in transition. And there was nothing else but just so much goodness that she offered to our lives at that time. And I chose to be spiteful and jealous. So you don't know what people are going through. But to be spiteful and jealous is an energy that you carry with yourself. Reset the energy, get yourself back to your core values, and call those in your life that you feel like and don't call if you don't really think that don't just call to apologize. Like that's some BS. Don't call to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," just to make yourself feel better. No, no, no. You're calling for the purpose of closure on a situation where you've been nasty, you've been inconsistent, you have not even honored yourself as a human being by showing up in a slimy way. And you're committed to making sure that you've completed that practice of acting slimy and put that behind you and making a new promise for the future. So this way you can recreate what it is that's there for you. I invite you to go do that in your life today. Today's Sunday. It's freaking Goddess Worship Day. So, worship yourself by giving yourself the gift of closure and gratitude for those around you. There's no way that you can have the things that you really, really desire in life if you don't have gratitude, deep gratitude for everything around you, including those funky relationships that feel uncomfortable. I'd rather be uncomfortable than complacent. I'd rather be uncomfortable than complacent. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for just being you. Because in spite of everything, the fact that you can sit here and listen and hear what's being said, that means God is in you. God is roaming through your body. God is inside of your soul, blessing you every day, every second of this moment. And Goddess is just flooding you with blessings. Peace, love, and prosper. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming to listen. And I'm out. Have a peaceful, lovely day. And just like spread love. Spread love. Peace, love, and prosperity. Bye, y'all.